Hey, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to Invisible Condition. It's not all in your head, by the way. I'm your host, Jeff Pearson, and we want everybody here at Invisible Condition. We want everybody with an invisible condition to know beyond the shadow of a doubt that number one, you have a voice. Number two, you have a community. And more importantly, you are not alone. And so, to that end, I have an amazing guest today. I'm pretty excited about this. Kimberly Cloud. Um, she's got she's awesome, by the way. You're gonna love her. But she has a tiny little tumor in her brain, the size of a grain of salt, which doesn't sound like much, but it could be some. I mean, that's no joke. She also has arthritis in her shoulder, so she tries to, you gotta, do the thing, move around, all the stuff. She is amazing though. She's the executive producer of the Kimberly Cloud Show, and she also plans on running for state senate in May. What? I'm okay. We're going to talk about that. She wants to make a change and a difference in the city of Seattle, Washington, where she lives. So I am super excited for you to meet her. Kimberly, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you, Mr. Pearson, for having me.
Mr. Pearson, I never get called that. Come on, Jeff, come on.
Jeff,
Mr. Pearson is my dad. Come on.
okay.
I'm gonna start turning around, going, "Where is he here? Oh, cool." So this is really cool. I'm very excited to hear what you're doing as a public servant, podcast host, student. But first, just take us through a few hurdles that you've been overcoming, and just share a little bit about how you discovered and when you discovered that brain tumor. That's crazy.
It was back in 2016. I was at Northwestern Hospital in Pikesville, Maryland, and they did a MRI scan, and it took a whole hour. And then the doctor came in the following couple of days because I kept passing out. I was super sick. And they said that I had a tumor the size of a grain of salt. Now, it's some conflicting, but reassurance that I still have it, because back in 2017, what they did was they did another MRI, the VA, and the VA said I didn't have it. My doctor told me I didn't have it, but I spoke with a doctor recently that said it's still documented by the VA that the MRI scan says that there's a tumor the size of a grain of salt in my like pituitary gland, or somewhere embedded in my brain. I don't know exactly what area it's at, but it's a scary thing. I also have arthritis of the shoulder. I just found that out. But I still move around, and I drink protein shakes every day. I move around with my book bag. I try to carry heavy bags and exercise, keep myself mobile before I become immobile. So yeah.
Yeah, mobile is better. We
Yes.
like mobile. That's better. So yeah, keep up the good work on that. For sure. Now, by the way, everybody watching, I just want to throw this out here. If anybody has any questions or wants to connect with Kimberly to ask her about anything that we talk about today, because we're going to talk about a lot today. So if you have questions about anything, this is your shot right here. In fact, I'm just going to do it right now. This is a place to do it right here. So just pull out your phone and pop that QR code on there, and you can reach out to her anytime. And I'm just gonna leave that up there for the rest of the show, off and on. So okay, here we go. Dealing with, I can't relate to the passing out. I can definitely relate to some of your story with that, but with passing out, like episodes of passing out with brain tumor, that's got to be tough. Like with your family, that's got to be a little scary, right? That's kind of freaky. Can you describe a time when that happened? When you, like, how did that come about, and how did you deal with it? Like, what was happening?
Absolutely. I was at my business in Mountaintop, PA. I was doing one of my contracts, and I used to smoke Newports. It's definitely calmed down since I stopped smoking, period. I haven't smoked in like over 3 years, but I was there, and all of a sudden I woke up on the floor. They ran tests. They couldn't find nothing wrong with me. Then the next incident happened. I was somewhere. I was at a shelter and I was standing in line and my head got real hot and I was still smoking cigarettes. This was in Pennsylvania. It was in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And I sat up there and I passed out again and no help from the people there, the staff. And then the third time was I was at a battered woman's shelter and I was there and I was smoking a cigarette and I passed out. That's when I started becoming aware that the cigarettes were making things entirely worse. So I completely quit. I said, God, please, when I get into this place, I'm going to quit smoking. And that's when I quit smoking cigarettes completely.
Nice. When you got into the
apartment.
Into the apartment. Okay.
Yes,
nice.
I got to an apartment in Salt Lake City.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah. And then you said, all right, clean slate, new apartment. Yes. No more smoking.
Exactly.
That's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that can't be, that's better for you in so many ways. So
it's pretty cool. Yeah. I don't mean to cut you off, but what's pretty cool, during the course of me being at that one battered woman shelter, Damon John, I was on the Damon John network and I'm still there, but I was heavily on it and I would like all of his stuff. And he's from Shark Tank, if y'all don't know, but he sat up there. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. He picked me out of 3 million people. He picked me and it was a 3-minute conversation with him about my Blue Cloud cleaning company business. And I was like, oh my God, I sounded terrible because I was around people that was making noise and everything. And I felt like I ruined it, but I'm going to reach out to his company again. And the whole Shark Tank community is awesome. I love Shark Tank. So yeah.
Oh yeah. What's not to love? I love that show. I watch it. I watch the show. I watch all the little shorts that pop up on social media. It is fast. It's an inspiring show, honestly. It's like, oh man, it kind of makes you want to run out and invent something just to get on Shark Tank,
Yeah.
What can I invent, so I can get out there. So, that's so cool. So you did come to the conclusion that there was a very distinct connection between the smoking and the passing out. And did that have to do with the brain thing?
Yes, because what happened, it was a fourth time that it happened. I was smoking a cigarette. I ran into CVS and I sat up there and there was people in front of me. In my head, I can tell when it's about to come on because my head gets super hot. And I just passed. They said I passed out 3 times and kept getting back up. And I'm like, okay, what is going on? And so they called the police and the ambulance thought that I was on some type of narcotic or something, but I wasn't. I'm honest. I used to do medicinal marijuana, but that was it, Yeah. And even after the prolonged time that I stopped smoking cigarettes and I was on medicinal marijuana, I never passed out from then on out. It was the Newports. The Newports have glass in it. I forgot what they call it, carbon glass or something like that. Yeah. And it just messes with your brain. It's toxic.
Well, yeah. I mean, those cigarettes, man, any brand of cigarette, I don't care what you're smoking.
Yes.
They have stuff in there that's, it's not good for you at all. And so I'm not surprised. But the medicinal marijuana didn't do that, huh? Nope. You were fine on that.
I was fine off of it, but I quit it. I quit that too. So I'm not on any drugs, period. No medicinal marijuana, no cigarettes, no coffee. Even though I don't, caffeine, what I do is I do a B12. What I do is I drink protein shakes that have a shot of B12 in it and shot of bee pollen in it. And sometimes I mix it up. They have this algae type material that goes in the protein shakes, but they're $10 a pop. So what I did was I went to Walmart. I bought some whey protein, premium brand, and I bought some fruit, frozen fruit. and I have a blender, and I sometimes to cut down on me getting a craving because they're addictive too, but they're good, So I'll make my own smoothies.
I mean, being addicted to smoothies is probably not as terrible as being addicted to cigarettes. So I mean, it's it's a step in the right direction. Oh man, that's crazy. B12. Yeah, that's good stuff. So wait, you just called coffee a drug.
It's caffeine.
Caffeine a drug. Okay. Okay. I was gonna say, because I do love me some coffee, but it's not because of the caffeine. I like the coffee because coffee reminds me, it's kind of in the same realm as wine, right? Depending on where the beans were grown, you taste different things in the coffee, just like you taste different things, in the wine, depending on the time it was grown and the area and all that. So I'm just fascinated with the taste. I love it. I honestly don't feel a rush from it. It's kind of, maybe I'm one of those weird ones that could drink coffee any time of day and not have a problem. But
I still drink Starbucks. Don't get me wrong, I drink it, but not at a consistency. Once you get
yeah,
hooked on protein shakes, you kind of see the difference between the two. You get a natural energy boost versus, a strong caffeine boost. But hey, I still support Starbucks. I go there all the time.
I mean, and I'm sure they appreciate that. I do not remember the last time I went to Starbucks, but I do like coffee. I don't know. It's a good thing. But oh man, that's cool though. I love that. I've never heard of somebody that's addicted to protein shakes. That's pretty good. That's I mean, there's definitely worse things. So so alongside the tumor, you mentioned arthritis in the shoulder. Is that something you've had? Like you said you just discovered that, right? Or
Correct. Well said. I was it's such a long story, but I'll tell it. Like I was incarcerated because that there's a backstory to that. I was incarcerated and all we did 24/7 was be in our cell, no movement, no momentum. And so, you can exercise, but the way the cells were built, it was hardly any air. The water was dirty. Like it was dirty to the point that years ago they had to bring in bottled water because the water was so tainted.
ugh,
And so what happened was no exercise, no nothing, sleeping all day, nothing, not active really,
man.
just got me arthritis. I was complaining. I have arthritis of the wrist too, but I don't care about the pain. Like I'm alone. So what I do is I ignore the pain. Like there's runners, there's famous runners, there's famous actors, actresses, and athletes that have these problems as well, but they just ignore the pain.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you can do that, that's great. So yeah, if you can just block it out and ignore it, that's fantastic.
Sometimes
Um,
I feel hurt in the morning. In the mornings is the worst time though. The
yeah.
mornings is when I get up, my whole body be in pain, but I'll pop two 600 Motrin and be off to the races. That's it. I don't do no more.
And
Every 12 hours.
the B12 doesn't help with that, huh? Like if you upped maybe your B12 or your I was trying to think, man. My my wife is a health coach, and so she'd probably talk to you and go, have you tried this and this and this and this and this um for something more, better for your liver, than Motrin, but there's
True. You're
it's
correct.
possible. So maybe we could talk about that later. Maybe you should meet with her. But yeah, that is, I mean, do what you got to do, I mean, I totally get it. I mean, when things hit, you gotta relieve the pain. So you gotta do what you gotta do. Um, well, I mean, what else do we? I mean, so we're gonna take a break here in a couple of minutes, but I just wanted to see if there was anything else you wanted to include about, this crazy that's led to what you're doing now. We're gonna talk about that in the second segment with your podcast and everything that's going on. I mean, but any last thing you want to leave the audience with in the first segment here, and then we're gonna head to a break.
No, not really. Just take care of yourself. And even if you're in pain, try to work through the pain. Taking narcotics isn't a good idea approach, because you get addicted. I was on narcotics before and they didn't help. They just made me more addicted. You take one and then you have to take another to recover and then another. And, you get stopped up, and it's just sweaty, clammy, and it's just not worth it.
Yeah. Narcotics, just the sound of the word is like, nope, I'm good. I don't I don't want to do that. I know they're great for pain relief sometimes, but yeah, you don't want to do it for long term. So
Exactly.
holy smokes. Yeah. Well, all right. Awesome. Well, okay. Thank you. We're going to go take a break real quick. Everybody stick around. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be talking to Kimberly about her podcast and her journey into the life of a public servant here in a little bit. So stick around. Don't go anywhere, and we'll see you in just a couple minutes.
Does your to-do list have you feeling stressed? Does your list include tasks like responding to email and phone calls, collecting forms and paperwork, and sending quotes and invoices? Have you been neglecting posting updates to your social media accounts, email newsletters, or content on your website? Maybe you need help to get digitally organized. I'm Selena, one of the owners at Office Mercenary, and we're a US-based virtual assistant agency. We can take care of all of these tasks and more so you can get back to focusing on the things you love about your business. Our team is happy to work with you and your individual needs. So schedule a call with us, bring your to-do list, and stop doing the tedious tasks.
The Club eFit Home Portable Gym System is a groundbreaking new system that can help everyone at any fitness level. You can be the happy, fit person you always wanted to be, and Club eFit can make that happen by helping you get the body you deserve in the time you can spare. With workouts ranging from cardio, core, to total body toning, it's easy to get started. Start taking care of you today. To make the change, go to clubefit.com now.
In a world where office workers typically receive 130 daily emails and have an 8-second attention span, CoreCentrica, with her 4 decades of international marketing experience, has partnered with the Learning Code Institute and their 30 years of neuroscientific research. Together, we are crafting unique messaging strategies that resonate, connect, and ultimately convert our target audiences. CoreCentrica, where award-winning creativity and disruptive neuroscience come together. Scan this code now or call and click, and let us show you how CoreCentrica's partnership with the Learning Code Institute is influencing how businesses connect with their audience, foster engagement, and achieve conversions.
Hey friends, this is Ben Hummel. I'm the host of the Genius Way Show, where you'll learn to access your inner gifts, talents, and callings, and how to express them out in the world. Join me here each Sunday at noon Pacific time on the Achieve TV network, right here on E360 TV.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is cool, man. This is so funny because it proves to me that you don't have to, like, we met not that long ago, right? And here we are doing this already. It's so crazy. Like, you never know who you're going to meet, where you're going to meet them, and what they're doing, and how you can help each other. And so thank you for doing this again. This is fantastic. Very excited about this.
I am very impressed with everything that you've done, what you've created, what you put towards your show. This is amazing. I love the commercials, the content, everything.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. Awesome. Well, I don't, honestly, it's a God thing. I can't take all the credit, man. Seriously, there is no accidents in this world. I'm telling you, he does not make accidents. And so this is honestly a product of his guidance and my listening once in a while. I don't. So it's been pretty amazing, the journey. So thank you very much. So just with all the things that's been going on, I mean, that we covered in that first segment, that's a lot. Despite the hurdles, you've obviously maintained a career that's quite impressive, as a executive producer and pursuing your master's degree. And how do you stay focused among, like amidst all those health challenges?
I do it in a therapeutic way. I show people,
Yeah.
I'll sit up there and go live, and I'll show them how I do my homework. And then after I go live doing my homework, I'll edit a video and show them live. Now I'm not as advanced as you.
Yeah.
I try to make things, a little different. But I try to keep it entertaining for me and for the next premature podcaster that want to come out and probably do more than a better job than me or whatever. This arena is big enough for everyone. And when you collaborate, you get further in life. So yeah, with the podcast.
100%. Yeah. Collaboration, man. I'm telling you, I have been part of so many groups and so many different things over the years that turned out to be more, it was either useless because none of the right people were there, or, so you're networking, but it's with people that you don't want to network with, or it's cutthroat, it's like competition, and so I've surrounded myself in the last couple of years with 2 or 3 communities that have just been so collaborative and so, always looking for the next awesome opportunities that they can, either partner with you on or point you in the direction of, knowing that that's going to come back to benefit them eventually. It's just really cool. So I totally agree. Collaboration is king, 100%. And that's what we're doing. I mean, I get to be on your show here soon, and I'm super excited about that. So
I'm going to push your video up to the front since you are showing my video within a month frame time, the 26th. I want to push your video up to the front and get shown by 7 different networks. Seriously.
Awesome. Yes. I appreciate that, man. Bring it on. The more the merrier, right? That's the name of the game. We want to get, if you have a message you want to get out, you want to get it out as far and wide as possible. So thank you. I appreciate that. So let's talk about that. Let me grab that QR code again. I almost forgot to put that up there again. Let's talk about speaking of media, the Kimberly Cloud Show is a platform where you're sharing stories, insights. Tell us about the show. What's it about?
Okay, so it's a basic show. It talks about your past, present, and future with highlights of whatever you are trying to promote. So if you have a book, if you're a real estate agent, if you're an actor, actress, musician, I highlight those areas and I try to dig into them freelance. Now, I don't write them down. I haven't been writing it down. I developed these questions off top of my brain. And I think that that's the best way to do it. But now I need to get buckled down and I'm going to start writing questions because that's what I want to do. I want to write questions about the past, present, and future. First, I'm going to talk about the past and leading up to the present. And then when they hit that present mark, I'll see how I curve those questions. Some people I can do it without questions, but people like you, people like Will Roberts, which is coming on my show. And it's nice. Another guy from Celebrity Boot Camp. I've had DC Glenn on my show, tag team, and I've had a lot of good guests on my show, and I cannot wait till Will Roberts come on and you. And I just wanted to say it will be scripted.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm happy to help in any way I can to get that the way we want it. So yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I definitely have some questions in front of me right now because I mean, I'm 7 brain surgeries in here, man. there's memory issues, so I would never come on a show without having something written down, because otherwise I feel like it just be, follow every squirrel that runs by, so yeah, for me that works really good. For some people it doesn't matter, but that's awesome. So past, present, and future. So what's the, short of those total celebrities that you just name dropped, what's been some of your most fun shows? Like, talk about that a little bit.
I had Trudy Bierman on, and she has a podcast called PSI Podcast, and she does it near Miami, Florida. And I had a wonderful time interviewing her. I had to keep her because she went deep, and I just wanted to sway her on subject. But when you do it, when you're producing a podcast and when you're actually on a podcast, that's two different things,
Yeah.
And she shared quite a bit, and I loved her for that. Like, I appreciate her sharing that information. And she, in exchange today, she actually did a show with her today, and she interviewed me today at 9 a.m. And that's what I like. I like collaborating. And I also, let me think of another show. I had a show today with Mr. Lucas, and he was talking about paranormal, supernatural. I like people that talk about paranormal, supernatural things, because that puts me in a realm where I am able to talk about things outside of the past, present, and future, but I still stick to the script. And
Sure.
he shared his information with me, and I appreciate him doing that. I love people when they share intimate stories with me. And one last woman, her name is Elizabeth Hendrick. She's in Tokyo, Japan. I have to replay my commercials because I have to do it every day. But she sat up there and she had BDSM or something. She had an experience with a Asian woman with bondage and stuff, and she shared that information with me, and she wrote a book about it, and it's a hit seller in Tokyo. So I enjoyed talking to her about that.
Man, that would be an interesting conversation. Oh man. Wow. Yeah, you get some guests in there, man. That's pretty cool. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one caught me off guard. I don't know what I would do if I had somebody on the show talking about that. I don't know what I'd ask them. So that's kudos to you, man. That's good stuff. Man, okay. Well, on that note, I'm curious. The other thing I'm painfully curious about is because I have never had an interest in this ever in my life. It's like it sounds each to their own, some people are built for this kind of stuff. So but running for a Senate position, what in the world? First of all, where the heck did that come from? And how's that going? Like, I wouldn't even know the first thing to even start doing that. How'd that come about?
Okay. I know it says running for state senate. I'm gonna take you down a list of things that I decided I was going to run for what I'm going to run for. So back in Santa Maria, I ran for U.S. Senate. I was just a write-in. I only got 12 votes. I was by myself, though. That is very good, because it's very hard to get voters that doesn't know you,
Right.
And also, I left, and I decided I wanted to run for president. Now, let me tell you why I wanted to run for president. One, it's only $500 to submit the application. Two, I was trying to help, advocate for Donald Trump. I was running as a Republican, and I wanted to advocate for Donald Trump. I don't want to throw politics in here, but
No,
I
you're
want
good.
to help him with talking about the different shady politics that's going on, and it's going on right now. And then I decided to run for state senator, but I spoke with the director of the Republican Party, Matthew, and he told me that councilwoman is in my district that's up for grabs. So I said, you know what? I'm running for councilwoman. So I spoke with a lady in my district called Julie, and she invited me to a hotel get together with the voters and her in a light dinner. But I declined because it was so soon. So on next Wednesday, they have an event every first Wednesday of the month, I'm going there and I'm going to introduce myself. It's very hard work. So I wanted to be prepared because it's very hard to speak around people, sometimes. And I just want to be prepared for the people.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. That was a lot. Holy smokes. Okay. Well, I'm impressed. That blows my mind. I mean, because everybody's like, "Ooh, we should do something about that," but you're actually trying to do something about that. So that's really cool. That is impressive. So, are you going to land on the ballot? Is this November or something?
No, it's going to be next November. It's going to be next May. They do it differently, and we're going to get a whole year to campaign, introduce to the voters, promote it, and they're going to help me with campaigning. I have to work with the individuals that's going to start the campaign next month. And it's up to me to find some of the voters, but going to campaigns like the event that I was invited to by Julie is number one. Now, number two, I also today signed up with the Chamber of Commerce of West Seattle. I want to go there to promote, you have to get your name out there. And that's what I'm going to do. Now, when push come to shove, and when I do become councilwoman, I may sell my business at the Kimberly Cloud Show or do it part-time, very minimum, but it still will be running.
Yeah, good. Cause that's almost like your own built-in little media outlet, for keeping that. So, in my mind, it would make sense for you to find like a co-host or something and then have them running it when you're not. And then you can still be on the air most of the time. And then you could be like the special appearance, when you're not, doing the politics thing. So that's really cool. Cause I don't think I'd give it up. I mean, that's just me. I'm no expert, but yeah, keeping that going would be valuable. I would think. So that's cool. Man. Well, so, okay. I'm going to have to lay down after this, man. My brain is like, my brain is just swimming right now. That is a lot. I don't know how you're handling all that stuff. How do you, so speaking of that, let's talk about that for a second. What are some of the things you do to take care of yourself and all that because with everything you're doing, there's gotta be, me personally, literally, I was laying on the couch for half an hour before we did this show so that I knew that I could do it and have the energy. What do you do for stuff?
Well, when I wake up in the morning, I start tossing and turning to wake up around 5:30, 6:30. Take a shower, get out the shower, then I go by the smoothie shop. I have the same routine. After the smoothie shop, before the smoothie shop, I'll probably get on Facebook Live and chit chat for like 5-10 minutes until the smoothie shop open. Go in the smoothie shop, and it's all about routine too. And sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling tired 2 days ago, and I promised the people I would be back on the show like around 5 p.m. But I ended up going to sleep. I do this for roughly 4 hours. I don't let it consume me, because you do too many podcasts, you get burnt out. So what I try to do is I try to do it minimum, but I try to promote myself. Like when I'm not doing literally nothing, I'll sit up there and just get online or video record myself through YouNow. There's a platform called YouNow, and I sometimes dance or sing on it. And I know that this is going to end up being a documentary. It's going to show every point of my life, and that's what I want. I want them to see hundreds of hours of putting in to going online and just doing my homework, or going online and editing a video, going online, dancing and singing. It's therapeutic for me. So I just want to get used to being around the cameras, and I was on PA Live, and it was a great experience. And I was on Locally Loved, Locally Owned too. And PA Live, I had my wigs, and it was a 3-minute show with Haley. And I sat up there I didn't have the right wigs because me and my husband was going through a divorce, and the real wigs that were good wigs and good quality wigs were up in the house, and the house was locked. But I ended up buying some quick wigs, and I didn't like the way the episode went because they weren't as pretty as I usually like them. I have an eye for them. And so then locally owned, the Riviera Bank promoted through the Chamber of Commerce in Santa Maria. They promoted my Blue Cloud Cleaning LLC, and I appreciate them for that. Like, seriously.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Hey, wherever you can get it, right? Wherever you can get that exposure, so yeah, kudos to you for finding all that, man. I that's where I still feel like I'm learning, is where to strategically place myself to get in front of the right people, to get in front of the right outlets, get in front of the right eyeballs. So that's, but you've been doing this longer than I have, so I'm not surprised that you've got, quivers in or arrows in your quiver that I don't have. I'm excited to learn some more about that. So, yeah, that's really cool. Well, I tell you what, I am flabbergasted at everything you've done, and I'm so impressed. But we need to take a break one more time. And then we're going to come back, and in our last segment, we're going to talk about a subject that it is super important for everybody. I wouldn't be here without it. We're going to talk about hope, because without that, you're dead in the water already. I mean, honestly, you gotta have hope. So we're going to talk about that on the other side of the break. Everybody stick around, and I'll be back with Kimberly here in a couple of minutes.
Hi, I'm Jake, co-founder and CEO of One Hope. My friends and I started this company in 2007 out of the back of this truck on a mission to enrich people's lives through wine. Today, we've grown into a state-of-the-art Napa Valley winery that proudly houses a portfolio of award-winning wines which have touched lives through over 40,000 nonprofits at home and around the globe. And it's happening every day. Being rooted in local communities and contributing to initiatives that uplift neighborhoods, celebrate cultures, and promote community. It's what got us here. You see, through every bottle sold, your purchase can make a direct impact on the causes you care about. One Hope's cause of choice has given back over $10 million and counting.
Hi there, I'm Dawn Livingston, your host on the Transcend and Succeed show. Join me Fridays at 2 p.m. Central for limitless inspiration and ways to help you transcend your limitations. Tune into the Achieve TV network and the Voyage to Vitality channel. Transcend and Succeed show, right here on A360 TV.
Right. Welcome back, everybody. We are already, time flies when you're having fun, right?
Yes.
We are already in our last segment, but it is honestly in some ways my favorite segment because I always ask I always ask one question with every guest, sometimes two, but I'm always fascinated by the answer. Um, and so that's why I do it, because I want to hear the answer. So, given everything that you have been through, gone through, worked through, you know, joy, pain, all the things, um, how do you on a day-to-day basis find hope in the hard times?
Well said, I enjoy talking to people about their lives, and that's what keeps me going. This podcast is very therapeutic for me, like I said before, and I feel like hope is something that you're hopeful of the future. I'm very hopeful of the future. I want to be able to get through to millions of people. you know um
Yeah.
this is something I take seriously.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, hope. If honestly, I mean, hope is almost like an expectant thing. It's like you're expecting for the future. It's like it's not just, oh, gee, I hope I win the lottery. It's deeper than that. It's rooted in more than that. So I appreciate that. And one other question of the challenges that you've had. I mean, you've talked about several things in your life that would be challenging. Anything about those challenges that you're thankful for?
I'm thankful for being in the shelters, because what I want to do is make changes to the government shelters, because they're funded by the government. And I seen the famine and the crookedness in those shelters, and drugs being passed around and children right there, and I don't like that scene. So I want to make a change with that. I want to make a change with methamphetamine being used out on the streets. We need more police out there. We need more hope. We need more police at the schools to guard the schools, so that we can sit up there and have more safety. There are children being robbed, walking home from school because they don't have buses to take them home. We need more funding for more buses. So that's my answer. If it is sustained.
Well, you said something important there, and you said more police, and in a former career, I was a part of what I did in that career was I was armed security at a school, at a private Christian school, and I absolutely loved it. It was like my dream gig, and it was a K through 12 private Christian school, and it struck me as I worked there over the years that I was there that it made me notice things about other schools, that I hadn't noticed before. And I've noticed that, they talk about security in schools, but I don't know of a single in Colorado Springs here. We're about 700,000 or 800,000 people here in Colorado Springs. I don't know of a single elementary school in this entire city that has security. Short of like a private school that's K through 12 or something, but like an actual government funded, elementary school, middle schools, yes, high schools, yes, almost everywhere, almost all of them, but elementary schools, nowhere to be found. There's no security. Why is that? That makes no sense to me. I don't understand it.
A 12-year-old girl was badly beaten and strangled and threw under her. This has to be known. She was threw under her bed, and her father found her. Children are being followed all the time, all the time by whoever, like stalkers, pedophiles, and they kidnap them, and who knows what they do with them, but it's not right. We need to crack down on this, because it could be. Then I'll say one last thing. A Caucasian white woman, she was running, she leave behind her children and her husband. She was running and an African-American male sat up there and stalked her and learned her every move, raped her, and threw her in a trash can. Now, my word to this is, women, you have to have a heightened sense of urgency. Don't think because you're in the same routine. I know when I'm being followed. I'm alone, but you have family, you have friends, stay with them, make sure that you don't do that. Like when you go running, at least carry a gun or carry something that you can protect yourself with. My heart goes out, even if a woman never talks to me, I don't care. I care about all women. And I know how it feel to be stalked. And I know how I feel to just be, looked up and down, the wrong way. And my heart goes out to those women. Be careful and have a heightened sense of urgency.
100%. I have between my dad and myself, we have done our best to drive that home with our children. He did a really good job of driving that home with me and my two younger sisters, and so yeah, we don't go anywhere without being protected, and our kids, they know full well, even in the house. I don't care if you're at home in the house, you don't have both earbuds in your ears full blast, so that you are completely blocked out from the rest of the world. That is not okay, no matter where you are, because anything could happen anywhere, anytime. So if you're clueless about your surroundings, that's like bait and switch for a criminal, so you're 100% right. And I know this was not we didn't mean to go down this rabbit hole, but it's a good one. It's a good one because it's true. You've got to watch out. You keep your head on a swivel always, and know your surroundings. So that's good stuff, man. Because I hate hearing stories like that. When it ends in tragedy like that. So, well, switching from that just for a couple minutes, since we're almost done, we got about 5 minutes left. In those last 5 minutes, I just want to give you the opportunity to it's all yours, man. What success stories do you have? What do you want to leave us with in the next 5 minutes? You got a few minutes to go, and go for it. It's all yours.
I just wanted to say that, like I said, I'm running for city councilwoman. I spoke with the director of the Republican Party, and we came up with a strategic plan. Like I said, we need more. We need drugs off the streets. We need crime to reduce. We need gas prices down. We need milk and eggs and bread to be down, basic necessity foods. We need safer schools. They went into Texas and shot up the students. It's just not acceptable. 2-year-old boy got shot in DC. A guy that represented Donald Trump, that used to work for Donald Trump, got shot in the head by illegal. The way the 2-year-old child died was that he got shot because the gang of illegals were shooting back and forth, and he just so happened to be in the crossfire. And then the 12-year-old girl, then another woman was badly beaten by illegal. We need to get that border secure. We need it secure because 5 illegal immigrants came at me with assault rifles, and I had to call the police. And then another thing before I close, there was an instance where it was an illegal immigrant waving around a blunt object in my neighborhood right next to my door. And there were 10 officers, no lie. I give it to the Santa Maria Police Department because they always looked out for me. They sat up there, held guns, and they shot him. And he ran off. He died, though. And this is what I mean when I say we have people that come from all different walks of life coming through the border, terrorizing our women of all races. The only ones that are protected are the Democrats. And I feel like, right now we need to come together and figure out a strategic plan to help get our border secure and help the women and the men, of the United States, or citizens here, get a better sense of life, have a better quality of life, you know,
Yeah.
without having
Yeah.
to worry about being shot or killed.
Right? You would think that would go without saying. I don't want to get shot and killed. But
Exactly.
but no, I understand what you're saying. And 100%, man. I agree with what you said there. It's a problem. And hopefully we can get some better answers coming up later this year when we elect a new president, and well, hopefully we'll see. And so I'm with you. I totally get that. So yeah, well, and congratulations on everything you're doing. And you know, I'm baffled, man. I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't have the bandwidth or the know-how or anything to do what you're doing in the political realm. So I applaud you for stepping in the ring. And you know, it can't be easy. It's not going to be easy the whole way, but you'll hash it out. I have no doubt. You'll come out the other side just awesome. So win, lose, or draw, I think you'll be better for it, and the people in Washington will be better for it. So I've never been to Washington. Maybe I should come up there and see what's up in Washington. That's one state I've never been to. So maybe I should, especially if you get elected, maybe I'll have to get up there.
Yes, come on up. Yes, we can have a cup of coffee or something. And
there you go. I've heard they got some good coffee up in Washington.
Real good.
I'm definitely a coffee nerd, so if I can find some good coffee up there, I'm all over it. So That's awesome. Oh man. Well, Kimberly, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being my guest, and thank you for being so real and so just upfront about everything. And I really appreciate your honesty and your story. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. 100%. All right, everybody. Here's the deal. We have another show coming up on March 29th. That is our next show, Friday, March 29th. Now, if you're watching this, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you if you've been watching for a while, thank you. If you love an episode that you have run across on E360 or Facebook or YouTube or wherever you're watching from, share it. If it's your favorite, it's probably somebody else's too. And if it's not, it might become their favorite if you share it and they get to watch it. So share far and wide. I appreciate it. I thank you. I value each and every one of you. And thank you for being here. And have an amazing day. And we will see you on the next show as soon as I can hit the right button. Have an awesome day.